Arsenic on the beat.
The Babbling Heads podcast.
Yo, what's up? This is the Bass 187 and welcome to the Babbling Heads podcast.
I'm DJ Fingaz.
Charlie is to see.
And today in the studio we have none other than
Kid.
one of the... No. Chillax, nigga. Chillax. Sorry. We got one of South Africa's oldest battle rappers in the game. Also a prolific MC, as well as television presenter and internet radio presenter. We welcome none other than Dennis Leach and his colleague Chris Beukman.
Yeah, what's happening?
Clever in the house.
What's happening? I just need to correct you there, man. It's award-winning radio DJ.
Excuse me.
Do you have that horn? Swan? Yeah, thank you very much. Man, thank you very much for gracing me with your presence and having me on your show. This is a liquor setup.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Okay, now, the energy's liquor, starting somewhere off liquor. Dude, I know you for a couple of years, okay? And I've seen you on Facebook and whatever and doing your thing. We haven't seen each other for quite a while. You know what I'm saying? But when I saw, the man is dropping music, I said, maybe we should get this bra in, man. Because I told him months ago already, dude, we need to get Kid Clever in. But when I saw now your music, then he actually pounced on it. So yeah, welcome. Thanks for doing this.
Pouncing on them things, man.
Yeah.
So we always start off with wanting to not just promote music when the guest or whatever they do. We want to get to know the person itself, man. Yeah. So give us a background as to where you started, your first thought.
Yeah. So
our music, everything.
So I think Shaq would know this because of the battle arena. I'm originally from Kimberley. That's where I'm from. Yeah. Thank you. Whose joke was that with the big hat thing? But yeah, so I'm originally from Kimberley. Growing up in Kimberley, like I had a stint there. 3 years old, my mom was like, "Look, we need to get out of here," and moved to Cape Town. Saw the vibes, and saw just a bigger town, bigger energies, just more of like a diversity of culture. And I found myself, funny enough, in the acting world. So I got sort of just literally taken off the street by this agent because of my loud mouth. And she asked me, "Hey man, do you have an agent?" I'm like, "No, I don't have an agent." And she's like, "Would you like to be on TV?" I'm like, "Yes, I would like to, but we got to ask my mom." And so I did little adverts like ShopRite Checkers. My biggest campaign in the commercial in sort of advertising TV was, I was the Go Well, Go Shell kid. I don't know if you guys remember when the slogan went, "Go Well, Go Shell." So I was their poster boy for the new South Africa. And Mr. Mabuza was my father, who's now getting into, the petroleum world and stuff like that. So we did quite a big campaign with them. And then from there it progressed into actually a TV series that was on CCTV. Do you guys remember that? CCTV, yeah. It was
a Chinese channel? No.
Okay, it was TV1, and then it was CCTV, and then TV3. So I was on a series called Beyond Return. It aired for about almost half a year or something like that. And then that was my stint. That was my introduction into the entertainment industry itself. Music wasn't really there. But I mean, like all of us that are here, our families love music. There's Clarence Carter that's playing in the background, or it's the Manhattans or the whatever, So that's always been there, And my parents being church folk, so it's altyd gesingery, whether it's funeral or whatever. But it never hit me I'm gonna be a musician. Yeah. It only really hit me when I left Cape Town to go back to Kimberley, because my mom was like, "Look here, you starting to act like a Roman and you're not a Roman. So we need to get you back to your roots." So I went to a little bit of a depression because I made my life here in Kimberley, Senate 2, now all of a sudden I got to be like a Kimberley anyway. So I went into a little bit of a slump, and I found writing, just kind of like a journal thing. But something that I really enjoyed doing was remixing, famous rappers, like their music, because not all of us have cassette tapes and stuff like that. So ek ken nie die woorde nie altyd nie. So sometimes first off venture come with the kid to down, so I put my own words to the thing. And found that like, because I didn't know the words, like I just will go with it. And a lot of people be like, "Oh, is that your song? Is that Biggie's song?" I'm like, well, it's a little bit of both. And then after that, I was just like, I need to find something to do in Kimberley, man. You know what I mean? Like, besides what people do, which is literally just hang out in the sun. No, I'm kidding. But I need to find something to do, man. So I found a little clique called Thug Style Classic, because we love Bone Thugs and Harmony. So we were on that. That was our vibe. And that was a stint, but never took it really that serious. Got to Cape Town. Then I saw this whole thing of freestyling, and it's like and I'm like, yo, I like this. Because I mean, me remixing tracks of other people, it was always off the head, because I'm comfortable with words like that. So the freestyling thing for me was just, and then that's where it started. And then that's where the birth of when I started noticing, there's battle rap as well, and there's this and there's that, So it's like, I think I can live here. Yeah.
Let's ask Mr. C the same question. What is your upbringing and how the two of you met?
That delves a little bit into his story later on. Pretty typical upbringing, but I always had an affinity towards music. A big shift, I think, was when I traveled overseas for the first time. And I went to the UK and I lived there for a while. And a friend of mine was studying sound, and I saw how awesome it was. He took me to the SAE College in London. I was like, oh God, I've got to do this. And then I couldn't afford it at the time because I was a foreign citizen. I took my cash, saved up my money, came back to Cape Town, paid for studies here, and since then it's just been like passionately on that. Before that, I had a career in, I think, marketing, and I had like a normal day job thing, but I had this passion in music. And when I came back, I was like, no, this is the only thing that I care about anymore. And then I think through that, there was a friend of mine that started doing a lot of music. We connected with a lot of strange kind of electronic music and stuff. And then I hadn't seen him for a while. And then the next thing, it was like a year or two later, he's like, hey man, you must come check out my act. Like I've got this like rap group, and it happened to be with Old Kid Clever. And that's the first time I met him. I was like, this arrogant kid. Like,
very boisterous young man.
And then I think a couple of nights or two of hanging out, we're like, okay, no, he's arrogant for a reason. It kind of works, and like,
I think that when you got me then, I wasn't really doing rap, I was doing horrorcore.
It was cool. Pretty like.
I remember that. That was so tell me, with your marketing that you've done, do you implement it with the music as well?
It's become more useful later. Like when I first got into music, it didn't make any sense because I was more studying the music, studying sound design, studying sound like productions and things. But now that I'm getting into like a little bit of event organizing, doing a little bit of our own podcast stuff, you start like thinking these things, and people like, how do you know that? I'm like, oh shit, it's because I studied something before that's now finally kind of helping, So it's helping. It's 100%.
But check it. Besides now the battle rap scene, because obviously Kid Clever has competed at the African Hip Hop in Durban, where I'm an event organizer. But bring it back. You mentioned SAE in the UK. Kid Clever and I myself studied together in 2012 at SAE Institute Cape Town. We did a music business industry course under Trenton Birch, who are big ups to that man. He's opened up a lot of doors for people, as well as like introducing scholarships to the ghetto youth. But I mean, what you learned in music business industry in that course that we did, how have you adapted those teachings and incorporated into your business model?
Literally knowing that music is a business, it's the showtime is great behind on stage and like, in front of the camera and like, the endorsements, but to get to those and to keep it consistent and to have a career,
sustainability,
you have to know the business side of it, which it has the mundane stuff like marketing, knowing what are you marketing, who are you talking to, how are we going to strategize, when to release, are you a studio rapper or are you a performer, do you just want to write music and so for me that course really opened my eyes to like, look dude, you gotta kind of know your T's and C's, not your T's and C's, but you gotta kind of know you're a little bit of book smart, we had a podcast.
Or you're not going to last. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sustainability.
We had a podcast and we had this other gentleman on our show called Black, and he was saying like, yo, like, you know, a lot of these kids, they jump into the rap game and stuff like that, but you know, like, I come from a schooling background and I studied and stuff like that, because how you gonna run the streets when you can't even read? You know what I'm saying? Like type of stuff, you know. And a lot of the guys don't know that a lot of the big icons in hip hop itself, they are learned men, sir. I mean, you know, Biggie Smalls was a mathematical like genius. What's his name? Tupac Shakur. He was in the arts. You know, the man was a great writer as well. You know what I'm saying?
I think he started at Juilliard.
Yeah, and even like with the, you know, like I can mention, you know. So for me, it was like, yo, okay, cool. Okay, so this is actually, it's a job. It's a job. I mean, it is a job. You know what I mean? So that's what I took away from that. You know, going with, let's say, because, you know, rap is a young man's game, or music is a young man's game. There's other avenues that you can travel into. You can do so many other things. You know what I mean? And that's what I took away from that. And what I digged about our course, it was very. He didn't teach us.
Yeah.
Because all of us were in the industry.
Yeah.
I mean, we had you, we had Emil.
Yeah.
We had a lot of the people, they were in the industry. Like some of the people were like journalists as well, you know.
Okay.
So it wasn't like we were being told
The
what to
BPM,
do.
the guy from BPM magazine, was it?
Yeah.
We had, was it your colleague from Mother FM?
What's his name? Agent Gemini.
Yeah.
We had, it was Dave Mack, you know.
Dave Mack,
It
yeah,
was Dave
yeah.
Mack.
BPM,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it wasn't like we were being taught. It was kind of like, guys, look, all I'm saying to you guys is like, look, you can implement these ways in this and that. I mean, the dude brought over like, what is his name again? Jay-Z's engineer.
Oh, yeah, that was the
he
first
was
Young
Guru.
Guru.
He brought
Gamal Keaton. So that was actually the first scholarship that was introduced by SA Institute, which was under Yieldwood Project.
Yeah.
So under our organization, that was the first thing that came out, and I think we had Riza Potgieter,
Yes,
as one of the students that went into the animation and the graphics course.
Correct.
That was offered that opportunity.
Yeah. So it was for me like, you know, you're not here just to listen. You must participate. You know, like it's not like a show. It's like, you know, and that was great. I was just in awe, man, because I was sitting with my heroes and my peers, and it was just like, yo, this is a lot. I mean, I enjoyed that course. It was a very much of a you guys are the industry. Where do you want to be within it? Because we're early adopters when we were doing it. I don't think there was a set module.
No, not at that time. Because like also with you being on the forefront of breaking away from traditional radio stations, with joining with Mother FM, where do you think radio is going now in the next 5 years? Is there still a future for it?
You know, that's a tough question to ask, because look, I now know that radio is just advertising.
Yeah.
You know, it literally is an advertising platform. You want your track to be on rotation, you're gonna have to pay for that time. You know what I mean? But now, with that being said, there's been a lot of the guys going, but that's kind of like whack, though. You know what I mean? Like, you guys aren't playing sort of the change in music. You're playing these big corporations, like these record labels. You're playing their artists because they pay you to go like, yo, I want these slots and that slots, and that's not the streets, or that's not the movement. So then the internet radio was like, well, we'll show you the movement, because what people don't know is that major labels talk to indie labels. About who's hot and who's not, and what indie labels do is they go to the clubs and they go check who's hot and who's not. You know? So it was kind of like the indie folk going, we'll start our own radio station, and because you guys aren't, you're not with the customer, you want to just take from us, and it's not really, what's it called, appropriating. You're just appropriating what you think is
No reciprocation here.
It's only things that have already a track record of success. They don't tend to, like well, remember at KFM, they would only play songs that they knew that had success before. They won't try. And
They won't
radio
break
should be the other
music.
way.
So I come from a place where we broke artists, because first you go to Shaq or Fingaz, you'll play my track. You know, then it plays in the club. And then because the club bumps it and loves it, that's when radio goes like, oh, is that what's hot? Now it's not. You know what I mean? Now it's the other way around. I mean, nowadays people don't even go to the DJ to you know, it's almost like you gotta, you know. So I come from where a DJ would break an MC into the industry, you know what I'm saying? So with the whole internet radio revolution, it was too early for its time, because data is expensive. South Africa we just don't know.
We weren't ready for it.
We weren't ready for it. Literally weren't ready for it. And now to go back to answer your question, radio will still have its
place,
platform. It will. But people are starting to get, I hate saying this word, woke. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But now we can have podcasts and things like that where there is an under sort of culture where if you don't like what you're hearing on radio, here's some
There's
more
options. Yeah, there's options.
Because before there wasn't. There wasn't options.
Well, I think there were maybe some options, but they failed because there wasn't enough listenership or viewership, or people, not enough people knew about it. And I think even with the pandemic, which I've been seeing, is slowly but surely people are more actively engaged in those kind of platforms now. It's
I agree with you because there wasn't enough platforms because social media made that possible now.
Yeah.
You get places like Spotify now,
Exactly.
iTunes, you have YouTube Music. There's a lot of
Distro
platforms.
Kid and all those. Yeah.
Can I just flip the script since we're talking about radio? So a couple of years ago, SABC made the 90-10 rule.
Yes.
You coming from radio, how did you see it was a good idea? As an artist and a radio presenter, how was that period? Did you think it was a good idea? Did you think, just give me a feel of what your opinion about it is.
Definitely think it was a good idea because when you go across Oorkant, overseas and stuff like that, America plays America, yo.
Yep.
You can be the hottest MC in Africa. If you don't at least pay your dues in America,
they won't play.
they're not going to play you, dude. You know what I'm saying? And that's just their rule. It's not that they disrespect us. Europe as well. They play Europe. I mean, Europe is a bit more. I think Chris might.
But UK is very much. There's a huge scene of support for musical artists there that actually go out actively to clubs to try and find artists to play on radio that are local. They will play them.
So that rule, it was necessary. It was necessary. But the shitty thing about that rule was, I said, now cool. Now we got all this influx of cool. Who's good? Who's not good? Okay, cool. Okay, who's on Sony? Who's on, Warner Brothers? Okay, cool. Right. Okay, cool. Those people are on. Sorry, that's my bad. No.
Silence.
That's not happening.
Silence.
That's not happening.
I kill you. Now answer the phone. See who it is and tell them that.
No, that's not happening. I'm not even there.
For you.
Mami, ek is op die radio. So the backlash with that was now we have to go like, okay, cool.
Yeah, but
Who
now
do
we
we
need pro
play?
content. Yeah.
Who do we play? Who's the flavor of the month and stuff like that. Cool. Now they found it like who was the flavor of the month. These people haven't been paid, dude.
Yeah.
Because the music had to Samro and Risa and the radio industry, Ikasa them were like, oh shit.
It's an influx.
We're not getting all that money that all the overseas would give us to be able to make it work. Now we got to work with the South Africans. We got to pay them too. So it got lost in the sauce. I mean, you would know that a lot of people from, I don't even need to mention them, but they're sitting and go like, yo, where's my money?
Yeah. There was one, I read one comment on socials where it says, obviously when you play Beyonce and all that money needs to leave. So the idea was, keep the money in South Africa, but the money didn't get to the artists. Somehow, somebody took that money.
Yeah.
Apparently. I'm not saying it, I just read the comment, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what my problem was? The implementation of it, man. You would play Joburg Cats. Rightfully so, AKA belongs there, all the big names belongs there. But the thing is, a radio station that I worked for the SABC at the time, I worked for Good Hope. So they didn't play our music, man.
Yeah.
And they gave me a slot to play 100% local Friday nights, right?
Right.
The problem with that was it was dope to play it and I could source local tracks. Azul helped me a lot actually.
But it only happened on your show.
Yeah.
Or am I?
Yeah, that type of thing. And Ready D show, obviously.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the people weren't ready for it like that. Because my show was like 9:30 on a Friday night.
Okay.
And people, they're not
It's
conditioned.
not prime at least, and they're not used to it.
Because they want to braai, they want to listen to
Celine, Viti, whatever.
you know what I'm saying? So they want. It had to be it had to be a campaign that came from grassroots, and it should be multiple you had to attack the idea from multiple.
Yeah, it
avenues.
was just, we make a rule and let hope it work instead of actually fulfilling all the way through the industry.
So it didn't filter properly, but it was a good experiment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you could try and maybe slow it in more.
Yeah.
The process
Ease
and
it
then
in.
ease it in and
But I also think it's a help. We've got to help the artists be at the level that, yes, the listeners are sometimes a little bit lazy, but we also need to help the backing of the artist, which we don't have. There's virtually no backing here for local artists. And like you can't suddenly put a local guy on radio that hasn't at least had a little bit of training, hasn't actually been through the business college, and we have to do that all ourselves. Overseas, they've got places for that. They find you, they find your voice, and then send you to all these schools and these agencies.
artist
that needs to help.
development.
Literally.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. So you come from obviously acting background, and you've worked on your craft. You've discovered music, and you've worked on it. That I feel it's a dying thing because we went from being creative to creating content.
Yeah.
So what do you?
You should have had you on here on the show. It would have been the worst. Anyway.
How do you feel this new TikTok thing where the TikTok celebrities, a few, okay, maybe they call it a skill, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ring light. Step 1.
Yeah.
Step 2.
Exactly.
Cell
Yeah.
phone.
So how do you see it since you come from the proper background? You know what I'm saying? How do you see this new trend and?
I'm going to give you the Mr. Universe answer. I love the fact that the youth is challenging me in these new ways. No, okay, I'm going to be genuine with you. I'm excited because, look, this whole solo project of mine, it's a rebirth into an industry that I kind of really wanted to give a miss. Because back when when I was doing my thing, we were all about authentic underground stuff.
Yeah.
Not knowing that you don't know what you're talking about, bro. Like saying underground just basically means it's just untapped and unpaid. So all music that is not on radio is all music that is not out there is underground. So it's not like a true art thing that you're underground, you're keeping it real. I thought being underground was keeping it real, but it wasn't. And that being said, that was the Dennis of then. But like now when I'm looking back at it, so that coming into the industry again, like wanting to do not commercial music, but connecting to people. Because I mean, my connection was on the stage, man, like battling. That was where people knew me, you know what I mean? Even like with the Realist as well, we got signed by Muti Music, which is like Bass Nectar owns the label, and he's like a breakbeat genius, like pioneer, who knows that? Like not a lot of people, but we broke in like an American type of stuff, you know what I mean? And nobody knew me kind of down here. They did, but they knew me as Aukie Clever, the battle, whatever. So I kind of missed that mark back in the day, and then I kind of just took a left, and I did the presenting and the radio and the stuff like that. But now coming back with this new sort of like brand managing agent and label. They're like, cool, dog. So, we're going to have to do this whole thing proper. And I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm ready. I've studied for this. I know what time it is. But they're like, no, but yeah. Do you have TikTok? Huh?
Say what?
I got Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, but
That's for old people,
but do you have Snapchat as well? Like, so here I am in the pool of like, whoa, so we got to do this and it's that. And it has its merit, right, in terms of how you can get yourself out there in different ways as an artist, just speaking for myself. But the whole thing that the youngins are doing, I ain't even trying to figure out what's happening.
Bust a couple of moves,
I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna find a team there. They're just gonna choreographize my stuff. They're gonna tell me what I need to do, because I'm not trying to play at their game. I mean, I was chilling at the club the other day, and I almost went to this homie. I'm like, this is shit music. And I thought to myself, whoa, you can't do that. Because back in the day, when we were doing our thing, the older generation were going, but that's shit.
What the cuck is this?
But that's D. You know what I'm saying? So I do that because it's these are the new guys. You know what I mean? Even that trap and drill conversation, or let me say the trap conversation. Yeah, I know all of us from the boom bap, like, but that shit. Blah, blah. I only said it was shit because I come from a vocabulary place. I come from a place where
Wordsmith.
You don't need to read the dictionary, but you have to stand for something. We weren't even talking about just, look at Sammy Sparks, like the one battle that he won. He literally was rapping current affairs, stuff that was last week in the news. It was like on, goosebump stuff. The people that were there as fans of Battle MCing, and the people who were there on their first time watching Battle MC was going, yo, yeah, bruh. Then he knows some stuff. He's not, you know what I'm saying? So I was just fighting the fact that you got to know some stuff. I mean, you want to repeat a word? Great, bro. You know how much money we used to pay for studio time back in the day? And you would kick me out the studio going, bro, are you serious? You're going to do that chorus like that again? Or are you going to, you pay for studio time, so you make sure you get that content, that great stuff out there. So my chat was more like, cool. That was my only gripe. Just the what's his name?
From your perspective of what you
the raps. But I was never going to dog them, saying that they can't do what they want to do.
Well, you
saying
learn to
that
take an opportunity when you find one.
Saying that we didn't mentor them, because we didn't. We were very cultish. You must earn and pay your dues and and people are afraid. Yeah. They were afraid to approach us with, so they did their own thing, and kudos to them for doing that, because that's how we also got in, because we did our own thing. We literally did our own thing, from when it went disco rap to like her going, well, you could, so they are pioneers. These kids are also pioneers. I got nothing against that.
Yeah, that makes sense to me now, because I'm thinking now there's one guy that says he started listening to music when youngsters dropped, man. So he's obviously, that for him is me.
Like his entry level, his entry point.
Yeah, it's perspective. Often with music, it's
he's a bit of an annoying guy, but besides that, but he said he listened to the song with youngster, and in his opinion, he says the new album, he says it's a dope album, but the track with the OGs is super cuck. I haven't heard the track myself, so I can't really speak.
Oh, that's the one with Lady D and Emil White.
He knows what I'm talking about, but I don't want to mention his name personally.
Okay.
We need a pregnant
pause. And listen, I want to make respect for Emil, with all due respect. He's my mentor. Respect for D, respect for youngster, respect others, but that's a cuck track. The track, not only is the track mixed cuck, not only is the track mixed cuck, but
I haven't listened to it.
I haven't heard it.
You know why?
You do know your ass won't be drawn
Spotify
across the coast tomorrow.
Like,
no,
I
but you
expected
should
something
be
different, man. I expected something different, and that wasn't doing it for me.
No, but sometimes
Was it
we
the
need
one-
to open the debate, even if there's criticism. It's
Yeah,
not
no,
to
definitely.
criticize
That's great.
him, like, hey, no, be better.
And
And
that's
that
great.
usually, we used to get that.
That
Any music.
that is I come from the school of thought where you got punished for trying nonsense. And like that's just the way it is. Like step up or get wrecked. You know what I'm saying? That was just, and I enjoy it, and that's why I like battling, because you get served in front of me, so you must go back and either take your ball and go home, or go do better and come back, bro. But you gotta stay iron, like this. But he hurt my feelings. Great, do better. Your feelings are allowed to be hurt.
Don't go bitch on Facebook. He said, go out and perfect your craft.
Perfect the craft.
Just to quote Emil's one track, the real battle is me battling me to be the best I can be, to set the God in me free.
Yeah.
So like literally, whether you're a dancer, whether you're a graffiti artist, whether you're MC, whether you are behind the scenes, is like always looking at yourself, how to better your craft, how to keep progressing, keep growing. Because once you are complacent and you think you are the shit, you are going to be overtaken by the next new trend.
Exactly.
So like currently, like you have to be, your journey is there to learn, absorb, give back as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
And sometimes be shaken a bit, you know what I mean?
yeah, it's like,
Well,
just
be
like-
able to
like-
take criticism. I think this is a problem.
Yep.
A lot of with the younger guys, they get offended, and then it's like, no, you're wrong. Instead of letting it actually take that offense and learn from that, it's a learning curve.
Check here, I did Gonzo's, and then that was fine. The people that's there.
I see it's called Havana Nights now.
Yeah, they changed it.
Was that with Roach them? No.
No. It was Friday nights that I did that. Whatever. And I could handle the guys that was there. They would say, dude, this film was cuck, man. But then I got into radio, man. So now the listenership multiplies by quite a few. And then I told my wife, I'm scared. I'm scared that somebody's going to not like what I do.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and she says, oh, so you in the entertainment business, and you're scared of somebody not liking what you do.
Yeah.
Somebody's always
And I
going
was
to
like,
not like you.
I love it.
I was like,
And that's why you married her.
Did I really think that?
Yeah.
Like it was so stupid, man. Like fucking nut up or shut the fuck up, man. You know what I'm saying? Nah.
Exactly.
And I immediately stopped that fucking. Okay, bring it on, bitch. Bring it on.
Yeah, full on. I love
wait,
that.
so this is a live show, right? So tell us what is but your upcoming projects besides the Dream track and the EP that's been dropping. What makes your current project that's going to be releasing? What makes it different to others in the industry?
I want a second jab at it. Actually, a first, second jab at it. You know, solo. This is my first time doing my solo thing. I've been in groups from Clench Fist to DA with Jack Barrow, and to there was almost a time when I almost went into with the Donkermach and the Dark Lords. You know, the Realists. I've been in groups. I've been such a good team player. Kind of like a crux in a way. You know, like doing it for the homies. So it's, you know, like it's for them and it's for the bigger picture. But never for me, you know. And I don't know if it was because I was afraid or it's because I just enjoyed more the us than the me.
Yeah.
Now it's me. You know? Now it's very scary now for me.
But I think
because
it's also you seem ready. Like, I don't know, just from my personal perspective, you seem ready for this. You can take this on now.
I feel like I am pretty ready because the only me that was battling. I was happy with that one. That was, I don't need a crew for that. That was me against him and convincing this crowd that he is not him. You know what I mean? But now I think I'm gonna back myself, man. You know, and why whatever. Fail or whatever, it's my dream. I'm gonna do it. I have to.
Bucket list.
You know, thank you. My bucket list. So this is why I decided to jump on board. And whether it's drill, boom bap, or whatever the case may be, I paid my dues. I don't need to let people know I can rap. I can rap. And I've had not a lot of backlash, but some backlash from the OGs going, "Oh, my bro, what's the singing thing with the auto-tune, the things?" And I'm celebrating my life, dude. It's like,
yeah, you've got a lot of different influences, I think, which is which you're showing off.
Yeah,
you know?
I look at Snoop Dogg. That guy don't need to try no more.
Doing gospel, dude.
You look at the features he does. This is so in the code. Nobody cares because they know who he is. You know what I'm saying? So that whole thing of me coming through with the hardest raps and the biggest of its multi-syllables and I'm okay.
Is this the EP that you were talking about? Like,
I think this is the intro.
So this is the promo to the intro. But the song is on YouTube. It's on Deezer. It's on all the major platforms. So the EP hasn't been released yet, right? We just slowly but surely just gooiing. Ja, ek weet 33 views, guys. Kyk hier wag.
Subscribers, you were right, bro.
Sorry, not the views, sorry, subscribers. But so that's the track, Dream, right there. That's the one. I'm dropping them single by single just to check, man. Because I know there's things, there's people that are better, but I'm not here to prove myself. I'm here just to have a really, really good time.
And the whole thing is just, for me, even though I'm your friend, I'm a fan. It's a great track, and like, just release it when you can. Like, when the stuff's out there, release it.
You got to jam it?
Yeah, we can jam it.
All right. Let's check it out. In my house and shit. That's not my car though.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, dog.
Oh, drill. Nice.
I got a melody, I got a remedy, I got a dream. Put in the energy, leave me a legacy. I gotta believe. I got a melody, I got a remedy, I got a dream. Put in the energy, leave me a legacy. I gotta believe. They counted me out, that's a hella no-no. I'm not stopping till the captain's in the Lambo. I put in the work, aim, fire, missile, COVID operation on that cloak and dagger, confidential. They got the wrong guy. I'm on that I spy, blue sky, crossing T's, red dotting eyes, black suit and tie. Sleep in the morning, the music is calling, but I'm working, I'm grinding, vampiring the evening. I got a melody, I got a remedy, I got a dream. You did the energy, leave me a legacy. I gotta believe. I got a melody, I got a remedy, I got a dream. Put in the energy. Leave me a legacy. I gotta believe. This is for the ones that ain't giving up on that lady luck, scheming on the buck, cause your life sucks like a cheap shot and it's so tough. You wanna rob a truck, I get you, I feel you, only we know the real issue. You're gonna get where you want to, just knuckle up and dig in, dude. I've been on that trip, best believe it's common. But I kept on praying, they don't know what's coming. Fake ones started walking and the real ones actually started chasing. I got amplified and the feeling is just so amazing. I got a remedy, I got a dream. Yeah, put in the energy, leave me a legacy. I gotta believe. I got a remedy, I got a remedy, I got a dream. Put in the energy, leave me a legacy. I gotta believe. I got a remedy, I got a remedy, I got a dream. Put in the energy, leave me a legacy. I gotta believe.
Yeah.
So who produced the beat for that?
So big shout out to Alchemy, a young kid from Brooklyn. He produced the basis of the beat. He's not really a composer per se. He it's funny, he says he's more of a mixer, like vocals and stuff like that. But he sent this beat over to me, but it lacked meat. It lacked the. I saw you wanted to do the drill thing, so I took it and I sent it to the team, and they sent it to the engineer La Soul. Big shout out to him. And La Soul's like, "Yo, it's a nice beat, but let me play."
Yeah.
And then he brought that whole juice with the violins, and he brought that woo woo woo, that like like that slides, and he brought the technicals in it, like he really, because like I said, the young kid, he. With him saying he's not a producer, but he hears sounds in his head and he tries, and I was like, yo, they put meat onto that thing. Yeah, dog, literally.
That slides is dope. But I wanted to ask you a question. Do you see yourself battle rapping again?
He does it every single night whenever he's out. You can see him just in person.
To be honest with you, I only started battle rapping because there was this clicky thing of the old school guys that used to go to Angels and Groundworks and all those guys that weren't really inviting new people. It was their people, you know? And the reason why I started battle rapping is because I was like, fuck that, bro. I'm going to come and shake up people's cages. Like, I mean, my first year that I entered, I took out the defending champion for how many years? I was Sammy Sparks at the time. I was like 6-year champion. I took him out, which everybody's like, yo, he's delighted. And then I went to go and like lose in the final to some dude from Beukman. But I tell you what, the year before that, I stood at the Jam or Mercury Live, and I saw Janai Grindith and Sammy Sparks and rest in peace, King D. Who else? Like I saw all these guys battle. I'm like, yo, man, this is it. This is it, bro. I want to be here next year, you know, and. That following year, I worked my way. I took out the archetypes. I took out, except for UTOP, I took out like what's those guys? I think it's the aliens, or what are they called again? But a couple of the big guys, man, I took them out, working up my way to the battle of the year. Yeah. And one of the people I really wanted to take out was Sammy Sparks and Janai Grindith. Those are the people that because they were outstanding, my bro. They weren't just battling, they put on a show, my bro. They were from the same crew, but the way that they were with each other, almost like they wanted to kill each other, bro. And it was a part of the show. And I was like, this is entertainment. This is WWE. No, this is MMA, bro. You know, and
Conor McGregor.
And my whole goal was, one of these two I want to take out, and I got at least the one right. You know what I mean? That was my beacon. Even like Scallyway came up to me, and after I lost the final, he's like, "My bro, you didn't even need to talk. You just needed to go like blah blah blah, and you would have won. Why did you choke?" I'm like, "Nah, because you know, like I try to keep it true. I could have bluffed my way out of it because I was the subject matter was Incredible Hulk and Spider-Man. I wanted Incredible Hulk, but I didn't get it. I got Spider-Man. So I had a brain fart. Instead of saying Madam Web, I said Madam Medusa. And I gave the crowd too much credit, thinking that they would notice that. So I choked after that, thinking that they would go, oh, but they didn't. That's why people are like, wait, bro, what the fuck, bro? Like, this was yours. But for me, it was more of like, I set out my goal to shake the foundation. You know, Sammy Sparks was destroying people since the battle started, right? He was the guy to beat. Nobody was doing it. Here comes a dude from nowhere, from Kimberley nogals. I mean, punchlines for days, I'm sure, can come from that. And he just destroys like you know what I'm saying? So that's why I started battle rapping.
But I think sometimes in an industry that is, like you said, kind of cliquey or is stagnating, it needs a new voice. And I think maybe you were kind of that because you've got a different kind of mind. And that happens in scenes across all music genres and different scenes. It's something new to refresh it.
To answer your question, I don't have the anger anymore, you know. I don't.
The Napoleon complex has departed.
I'm a little bit grown up now. Like, I'm not saying I'm too grown up for battle rapping. It's just that I think the scene it's a new scene now. It's them now, you know.
Well,
the standard is definitely not.
It's not the same anymore.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
It's shit. Yeah. I will say that, and anybody who's listening or watching this and wants to maybe put out some cash to come and to tune me, lovely. We can pay-per-view right here. We can, you know. But compared to what. Compared to what, because I'm a big fan of Cape Town. They what is it called? The MCM, our league here. Sure, I'm supposed to know. How can I know? Clash MC.
I'm battling now the 18th of my first battle.
I checked. It's here in what's his name? Scarpel. Yeah. No, I checked it. I was gonna tell you that guy though. But I love Kyle for days, but Kyle needed to watch Scrambles for Money.
Yeah.
Because those guys from Joburg, because back in the day, we were the ones that chowed Joburg. Joburg used to come here to get schooled. Yeah. Even Signs of Life came and they did that thing at the Artscape. You remember Signs of Life? Those guys from... what the fuck? I just forget the names.
Again, hey?
Yeah, I just forget the names. But they said, and they're from America, they said that we know in the States that Joburg is like the hip hop sort of you go there to make money. But Cape Town is a hip hop pillar.
We had such an alternative scene. I think that was kind of helped. I mean, that's what brought me into it because I was in a different world and I got brought into it because we had this weird multicultural complexity of which it was its own thing. Yeah. It wasn't. We weren't copying anybody else. We weren't following anything. We had our shit.
And he said that Cape Town's a hip hop pillar. You come here to come and check if you are good, you know. And that's our fight with Joburg was. It wasn't even a fight, it was a bully situation. But now compared to what is happening is that the English content in Cape Town can go sleep when it comes to Joburg. But now what I like what the league is doing is they're doing Afrikaans. And I'm happy for that. Because you guys were the first people to celebrate that. I mean,
if I'm looking back at previous winners, and bear in mind, Youngster was also part of if I'm looking back, I think I've got 2008 photos of Youngster battling Riyadh. So before he was Youngster's CPT, he was battling. I mean, the likes of Yemel Besem took titles. MC Cole, N1 from PE. There was who else was there? I think, and then Ben 10. Ben 10 dominated for 3-4 years straight. It's like he was killer, bruh.
Yeah. What I like about sorry.
No, but what I'm saying is at Indaba, it was always opening the platform. We opened it up to, in the dance scene, we were the first to premiere Kramp in 2008 as well. So it's a platform because we know that the art is continuously evolving. Hip hop is currently, it's you have to have your finger on the pulse, so to say. And there's going to be new stuff. And it's not like you said, necessarily what kak is this? Is but at the same time, when we were breaking ground, we were also told what kak is this?
Yeah, it's not clear enough.
It's giving a space where all the components, where there can be the boom bap, there can be the beat making battles, there can be trap, there can be whatever genres you want to do. But it's allowing that space and allowing them to breathe and to be themselves. Because otherwise, if we're just going to keep it in a closed silo, It's gonna die out.
It's gonna die out, yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry, just to say that I'm literally chilling with legends here, because to be honest with you, you guys, I won't lie to you, broke a lot of people, like in terms of. Look at Cybot, man.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Put it this way. My view of the Hip Hop and Daba was, you are not serious if you have not entered the Hip Hop and Daba. Whether you're a B-boy, whether you're a DJ, whether you're a battle rapper. You know what I'm saying? This is where you go get your street cred, make it or break it. And funny enough, to the point where, like, Cybot came there, bruh, and he delivered the bad news. The man took a vinyl, he took the needle point, turned it upside down to put the vinyl on top so you can have the Twin Towers with the sparkles to what's name, and what's name, DJ Fadim's I am the terrorist. My bro, are you mad? That's how serious, sorry to say it, white boys took this thing that you guys brought. You know what I mean? We'll leave Will alone, but I mean, we all knew, you know, whatever. But I mean, and then look at Lockenville. Lockenville came through the camps of you guys.
Yep.
I could speak, we could go down the line. That was what the
Ken Zero. Osming Beno, that's running the biggest festival in Africa now. Was inspired by the African hip hop and dub.
Yeah.
Like I said, Ken Zero, quite a few cats from Joburg. They came here, made their bones, made the connections, and they started this, the clone
Exactly.
up in Josie.
So, and anybody can say whatever they want to say. It's been watered down, whatever. But now with the new battle leagues and stuff like that, I just believe that what the direction of Clash MC is moving into with Afrikaans, great. It's about time. Leave the English. Okay, cool. The English thing, yeah, it's cool, but they don't punch as hard with the English. They don't punch as hard. All it seems like is they're mimicking this KODT or all this other, you know, like
URL
and URL and all that, and we don't live like that. We don't live like that, you know. Even the punchlines in English are like the schemes are American schemes in the accent of a Cape Townian, you know. So I'm like, I don't believe you. You know, you're not scaring me. So I'm glad that Clash MC, big shout out to them, that it's moving into an Afrikaans thing. I mean, Paul has been doing that too for like years.
I think what's that other league, Living in the City? I think they've also been hosting a few battles, but I think COVID affected a lot of like live events. Like even like with Linker stepping out of the game with Northern Nights, I mean that was like another major platform that's now been lost.
Hell yeah.
And that's hip hop politics, but we won't get into that.
We won't get into that.
Yeah,
because we're grown folk now.
For now. But I think also maybe with these new platforms that have that some have disappeared, there's so many new platforms that are opening up. Like just even something like this podcast, like you said, possibly doing his battles online. You know, like I think it's an early stage. Sorry.
So to answer your question, I want battle rap because I know I'll get shouted because if everybody wants to see Real Madrid and Manchester United lose. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Nah, for real. You know? It's like that, you know? Everybody wants to see the giant come down. And, you know, like, I'm not out of touch, but let these ladies do their thing, man. You know what I mean? If I'm going to respect myself going, like, if they were looking out or, like, studying my moves, then he's gonna moor me. Student is going to deliver the bad news because he's been watching Sensei, you know. So I ain't gonna try and come through. I mean, I saw like a couple of these old G's and KODT and all that, and they try to do the comebacks, and people are ready for them. You know, they get chowed. You know, like the Stauruses and all the other, they get chowed because why? I mean, bro, look at how. Sorry to say this. Look at how Cannabis got eaten up alive. That the man had to bring out pages. But what did you think you were gonna? It was sad. But what did you think you were gonna do? That dude that is battling you is your biggest idol, bruh. He's
biggest supporter.
He's had the fuck you battle for years for you. So you know what I mean. The man someone got like he got angry. Yo, let me get my rhymes off. It's like, dog, no, dude, you're losing. Like, and it's okay. Know when to bow out. It's okay, dog. And it's you know who's actually held his own is Toomey.
Yeah.
Toomey's held his own. But he's never been a battle rapper.
Yeah.
He was Toomey from the volume and then he came to hip hop. He was never ever in, and then when they thought they can call him out and then they did the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? And then he schooled cats, you know. But that's also because the man is well fucking read, he's well traveled, he's well experienced. He's not it's like when somebody's like telling you fuck you, but without saying it. He says fornicating you or something like where you feel like, are you insulting me? Are you flirting? Or like I should feel offended. I'm not sure, you know.
Discombobulate.
Yeah, it's like when you that type of vibe.
Checking like just a off a topic kind of vibe. Checking you out now. I'm checking your personal, your customization to your bucket hat. That reminds me of the Batu shoe brand. It's like just as little few colors that you using the actual paper clips. It's like, it's like in Kiki, say no VP support. But over the years, Keith Clever's always suit out. He's a bride. You see that in a crisp white shirt with a loud ass tie. His golf cap, whatever the case may be, and his brilliance is now. But like that was your persona. That was like the look you always did. Have you always felt that you needed to be aesthetically, you needed to project a certain image? Was that part of your character?
Yes, definitely so. That was strategic because for me, I needed to get into Kid Clever, not Dennis Leach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everything needed to be that for me. I'm like, how do I picture Kid Clever? It's that little fucker in school, man, bro. He's the only kid that comes here with like an all-star, but he's wearing like fucking a tie with a cap on. He's this obnoxious little shit. Always got something to fucking say, but he's looking nice as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, comes here with like fucking short pants and his business up top and his fucking hip-hop at the bottom and like a little bit of an attitude. So that's what I saw. I was like, who would I be annoyed with? And I created that character. That's such a hard that got built. And I mean, a lot of people, I'll say it on your show for first time ever, disclaimer, these are my Clark Kents. I got 20/20 vision, motherfucker. These are my Clark Kents. The ladies know, you know how many people I've walked past without the glasses and a cap that
They didn't
ask him. Like for real, they don't see me literally until like literally.
But that's great.
Like the Clark Kent, literally like the Clark Kent,
but reverse.
Yeah. So
check your journey into podcasting. It's weird that you come from radio, and a lot of people that's in podcasting has been in radio or still in radio, but they do podcasting. Tell me how did the journey come for both you guys? How did you decide on?
I'm gonna give this a little bit to Chris, and I'm gonna if that's okay.
Yeah, man. We've obviously been mates for a while. I worked at radio as well. I worked at KFM for a couple of years. And us being mates, I think it was around the time that the first iPhones came out. We just had a vibe, and him specifically, because I would often hold a camera. We knew we had an amazing like rapport and content, and he's a great just in person, and that was the start of it, where we called this terrible thing the smut tour. It was always an idea that was sitting from years ago, that just him talking shit, and I started realizing, no, whenever we would be at a table, we'd be around people were entertained by us, and it wasn't just him, because obviously he's the main show, but like he loved me having them, because we'd battle each other and talk shit to each other, yeah, exactly, and entertain everybody. And I was like, shit, how can I tap this? And nothing's really come along. There was a lot of ideas. I've been working in the music industry and sound thing in different fields, and suddenly with the pandemic, I started watching podcasts, and I was like, shit, man, this is kind of a thing. And I bought myself a little piece of gear. Obviously, we like just ground level starting out, and I was like, I know this guy way well. I know we can entertain people just talking shit for hours, and that's kind of what we got going. I mean, and then also I think a lot of, obviously with you've had a couple of platforms, my music production and stuff. I've struggled to find places to release it, because I haven't in an album or haven't. I'm like, shit, why am I not doing it myself? Like, and I'm doing it on the podcast. I'm like, shit, at least it's out there. It's like, you know, kind of. That's a lot of the.
I mean,
the basic.
I loved internet radio because finally I get to play the music I want to play, and I get to talk the things that I would like to say, you know, and it's my way, you know. I get to write my script. I get to do that. And like I said, unfortunately, it was too early for the. I mean, I'm sure internet radio has its place, and it's big, but with the podcasting thing, it was gonna happen. It really was gonna happen.
Personalities,
whether it was gonna be like on internet radio or with, you know, so it was a natural progression. It was gonna happen. Podcast is a little bit for me different, because you could, especially for me coming from like the terrestrial and wanting to be in the industry. I could do it, Gareth Cliff, and literally peak too early and die because of like certain content that I have, because of what I want to do. But at the end of the day, he was like, look, bro,
This is passion project. This is for us.
It's literally don't look at it as like we are trying to reach or something. This is something that we wanted to do, and let's do it. You know what I mean? And so and also he was like, dude, you've shown radio that you can do your thing. You won an award.
You don't need to prove anything else.
I'm not mentioning this award.
You won a Liberty.
Reminding us about this award.
You won a Liberty Award. So boom, bro. Like So it was going to be a natural. It was going to happen. I mean, matter of time.
Yeah,
matter of time.
It's like I said earlier. The two of us, we were about to work on something.
Yeah,
but we didn't know what it was really. The ideas was out there, but if you think about it, the core thing was actually podcasting.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. It's funny. It's funny that I did it separately and you did it separately. And it's dope that. As long as we on to the next one.
And it came full circle, and look at you doing better than me with your good ass.
This is helping hand.
No, but
and our shit. I mean, this idea is 15 years in the making. So it's about time we getting.
Yeah, look, we didn't
15.
I think 10, 15 years of basically the beginning of our friendship. Like we had an idea of something.
You got to put in those hours.
Yeah.
You got to put in those hours. I don't know.
I don't think we were ready earlier on. I'll just speak for myself. I think now is a better time for me, and it's also perfectly worked out for you, that we're both ready to take this thing a lot more seriously. And we're actually putting in the hours, actually taking it a lot more seriously. Not that we never took it seriously, but just,
15 years is a long time. How do you guys navigate the friendship? Because I can tell you for one thing.
No, he's not my friend. Don't get it wrong. He's not my friend.
No.
This is my guardian and my brother.
Yeah, and I abuse him every now and again.
Like we knew,
This thing works on my fucking nerves. So I'm asking for help, basically.
I guess it's because I show up for him and he shows up for me. We've lost money and made money together.
We're horrific to each other in person. People don't understand how we're friends, but action-wise, we're always there.
So I need to be horrific with him.
Verbally, but be nice when.
But the thing,
all I can say is
stop when you're winning.
All I can say is no Vaseline.
Go in hard. Go in hard.
That's what you got sanitizer for.
Remember what we said earlier on? Girth.
This ice cream has got a lethal injection. By the way. So your content. Just explain your content that you do on the podcast.
It's so okay. Cool. It's basically a for us by us show. Yeah. It's all the cool. It's all the cool stuff that we normally do at dinner tables, but now we enlightening people to what we like and what they like. So it's a bit of a cult situation, like either you like it or you don't. So there's no specific content. I mean, we do have like segments slots where we talk about cool movies to watch. But all it really is think about being in the underground basement, and if you need to find out some alternative stuff, you'll click in, you check. So we will tell you what we like in terms of music, like not what's trending, but like let's say for instance Rihanna has a track, but then we'll tell you what.
That note was great.
But did you know that one sample was made by Trent Reznor, which came from, you know what I mean? So we kind of like the diggers, the nerds. The diggers for you. I mean, more him than me. I normally just see, because the thing is, he gives me music advice. I play it. Everybody thinks I'm cool.
I've had to live with that for years. No, but I also think it's a lot of why we called it the edges is we felt on traditional media. This is just from my perspective. Traditional media was watered down in South Africa. Even though we're promoting local stuff, it feels like it's lying a little bit to you, or they're pretending to be American. We wanted to be the edges. We wanted to tell the truth. We wanted to say what people are. This is exactly what you guys are doing. Actually telling honest, having real conversations that are real.
It's about the truth.
Exactly, and a lot of the shows and shit that we see, it's not really what happens. It's glossed over.
So we've stopped like complaining to the Good Hopes and those other terrestrial radio stations like KFMs, and like, oh, you guys don't play our stuff. You don't want us to be interviewed. We're like, nah, you know what? this show, we'll get our friends in, the ones that
we've
people
got a
don't,
couple of good friends that have
the ones that you don't see, and we'll tell their stories, and then you'll find out that whoa, we actually got some stuff.
Well,
you know what I
even
mean?
on the shows, like at least a couple have been close-ish friends on these podcasts. I've discovered things. I've known them for 10, 15 years. We didn't even know shit about them, which is great for us to find out about them.
I mean, like even with the last show we did was quite a little bit of a tearjerker.
Jesus,
we were speaking about the depression in hip hop.
Dude,
you know, and this is not by a celebrity. This is by a dude. You know what I'm saying? And just those type of things, man. Because South Africa does have edges. Yes, the celebrity life and the glass and the stuff like that. But
it's not all of it.
But that's not that's not the. I'm not saying
one end of the spectrum.
It's the one end of the spectrum. You know what I mean? There's people because the content is the people. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's our biggest resource.
Our biggest resource is like literally.
Liking it back to the music business course we did, the 1,000 True Fans.
Yes,
there we go.
The true fans, you know. So that's what our show is kind of like a little bit about, just celebrating like our neighbor, man. You know,
and we just like having fun and talking shit.
Yeah.
You know, I
mean,
sure you guys know.
Being inappropriate.
No.
Disclaimer.
Wait. There's a disclaimer. Yeah, thank you.
The views expressed by the presenters do not
See, that's your role. Yeah. I won't lie to you. Yeah, no, disclaimer. I saw you guys at a disclaimer that it's very valid. Hey, we're gonna cancel this. Oh, yeah.
Well, we're not big enough to be cancelled yet.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Was cancel so myself, man.
Yeah. No. But before you did it, boom.
Okay, I have a question, man. This question actually popped up in my notice exam because you mentioned depression, man. Do you think that memes and jokes about mental illness stigmatizes like mental health or?
I am a super stand-up comedian fan, and one thing I've always checked is that those people are really they're not depressed, but they are people. They are people that are starting to laugh at their pain, and they want to talk to you to go like, you also have that. But it's for them, it's therapy. On stage, it's therapy, and a lot of those comedians up there are they're not the coolest kids. You know what I mean? They're not the popular ones. You know, they weren't popular. They were like the one who pushes a boundary and nobody digs it. For them, before they got the laughs, they got the booze.
Yeah.
It's the same thing why I liked freestyling on stage. Before I got those laughs, I mean, those cheers, I got the booze. I got booed off stage. But it was a time for me.
It's cathartic, I think, to be able to release that.
To release that. That's why I didn't like MCs or people in the crowd that would just say stupid shit, because to stand up here and to say your honest truth, it takes balls, because what you put out there, you know what I mean? What you put out there, like he said, what if a music, they're not gonna like it? it takes balls to do that, you know what I mean? So the depression thing, because in Africa it's different, man. Europe has it's clinical, and we got to the doctors. Yeah, in Africa you can't be depressed. Nah, maybe because he's a P. He's a P. Only time all the time. Only time we complain is at the bar.
So do self op pimbana.
Nee, dis P, nie dis what you call it? This example. Dankie.
It's merely a vessel to convey the content into my mouth.
Thank you. God damn it.
Sorry, should the management have stepped in? It's too late now.
So the only time that we get to complain is around like the bar. That's when and then it's acceptable because we're having a dope. You know what I mean? Not where.
And then sometimes with the wrong people, it turns into something that shouldn't be therapeutic. It's not helpful. Shit like that.
And then when you can be depressed, it's on a song. You know, when you're doing a track, sounding like me. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, this is a great song. Yo, listen to the song.
Listen to the words, man.
Listen to the damn song. You know?
But it's social media, obviously, we've talked to the ends of things, eh? But the reason why I'm mentioning social media is I had
Ravi.
Just
shout out to Ravi Nukela, one of my day ones is my brother from another mother, all the way from Durban next day.
Word.
Slaughterhouse, there's some good memories in Slaughterhouse. That's not Eminem's Slaughterhouse. And then Renee Dominique Clayton. Good afternoon.
Afternoon to you, Renee.
All the best for seeing you, my dear.
Renee, if you've got any questions for me, please do. Cause
the DMs are open. The DMs are open.
Slide in there. And you, Ravi, don't, my man, my girlfriend's listening to this damn thing.
Ravi makes one beat, man, in Shaq, eh? Ravi actually introduced us to Rabbit. We had Rabbit the other one day.
But we fucked it up.
We fucked it up.
We were tuckers. The thing was fucking frozen, and we split the thing frozen.
Oh my god!
And then we realized there's something actually in it.
Did you have to pull it?
But we're gonna try next time when we're much sober.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good meat.
My point was this: social media. So I was thinking, don't you think a new platform now where you don't see the views and you don't see the likes, only you can see it?
I would love that.
Wouldn't that be like a dope fucking idea?
Yeah, it's like don't get distracted by that because a lot of people are chasing that views.
No, and it's become an industry chasing that for no reason.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cats. Oh, let's put cats on.
What's the next thing? Must I pop a teddy over here so you can get some more likes? It's like, nah, I got some movies. I got some movies.
I would love it, but I think it's an evolution that's happening.
Just test it. There we go. You're free.
I think everything with social media, I've told a couple of friends of mine that I think it's an evolution. We are going through a massive change and shift and quite quickly. And I think it's bits of teething problems, all the shit that we're dealing with. So I think there's hope for the future. There's a lot of shit that's out there. But it's teething problems that we've got to deal with. It's like, the true art, I think, will extend itself. The true artists will always be there that are going to give you the real content or in whatever avenue that's available,
But I think somebody should create a platform like that just with no...
Yeah, or you're not allowed. You don't have access to your views. I don't know, maybe just the elf in the
But how will that affect the you selling your content to a sponsor though?
I think maybe not necessarily the views, but like maybe the followers, the amount of followers you have, the active viewers. I think that might be it's kind of the same thing at the end of the day. But it's like if it's on
thing that
back in the day, like one of the marketing principles was word of mouth. And if you have to do a survey and say, have you seen this podcast? And do a random survey amongst like 500 people and they say, yeah, they fucking know this. Then that is your validation.
Yeah, but I think even in radio, it was a huge frustration for me at KFM as well. Like they got the numbers of how people listened, and then I found out how they found out how
the Rams
figures, and most of it's actually so arbitrary, and it's not really truthful to. Yeah. And I studied statistics and stuff. I'm like, this is bullshit. Like it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, so because I wasn't good up in a community where they live by that numbers.
Yeah, they live by that, and that's their advertising sales pitch and shit. Like,
and the advertisers go. They trusted that the numbers or so. I was arbitrary.
And is it real? Some of it's nonsense? Like some of it, I don't know. It just very, very much confusing.
I think also like with the advent of the death of print media, it's like they used to be like, oh, we've got so much publications going out, etc. We got so much sales. But I think the 1 year we actually had New Age Gaming, and shout out to New Age Gaming because they were like literally one of my favorite gaming magazines. But they gave away magazines at the Hip Hop Indaba, and we went to the site where they were about to crash and burn this shit. So like there was like pallets and pallets of magazines, like talking about tens of thousands of magazines that didn't get sold.
Nudies?
This was like New Age. This was like
no nudies.
2010. Eh?
No nudies.
No nudies. There's always some.
You got the OnlyFans for that.
Die losleef het gebracht.
Losleef, ja.
Hustler in. Wat was that in zijn naam? Playboy.
Scope was
Scope. I remember Scope back in the day when I was a
I only heard from a friend.
When they had the stars, there were stars on the nipples. But kijk, before we end off, you got an event later on. Tell us about it.
Yes, I do. It's called Party for No Reason. So this idea came back in the varsity days, where you don't have a lot of money. This was before Nesfas and what. You don't have a lot of money, but you want kind of like want to party and stuff like that. So
you want a therapy drink, like what you?
So we would hold these little digs where you pay like $50 and you can drink all you want. So now coming to the new age, obviously after COVID, everybody's depressed and things like that, and they can't afford this. And going to town, $200 buys you 2 drinks. Yeah. So now at our party, it's $250 and you can drink all you want. Yeah, literally, it's at the Woodstock Hub, and it's literally got a couple of 2-3 DJs, but the party's not about the DJs. The party's just about like come and get lost, and just for a little bitchy, and for what? Nah, for no reason, just to, you know, and then you can go on with the rest of your life.
Oh, wait. To quote Lofi, kom ons raak vuil en modderige water.
As it no.
Oh, wait, but yeah, from the Babbling Heads podcast, check out the event later on if you are free, if you have the cash available, if you want to get wasted.
Yeah, $250. Yeah. It's at Woodstock Hub,
170
Victoria Road. You won't miss it, right across the park. Yeah.
And the police station, just for...
Yeah. Skinny Boer, and also Yusrik made us net af and come. Anyway. So
you got the goody good. Always, yeah, so from the Babbling Heads. Peace out, this is the Bass 107.
I'm DJ Fingaz. Do you want to say no?
Yeah. So of course, check out my track Dream on all social media platforms. YouTube for those cats who don't have the Spotify and things. Ek is ook op free Spotify. Maar nie waar ek het vir julle. YouTube, you can check out the track. It's called Dream. Thank you very much.
Yeah, cheers,
thanks for coming, guys.
No,
thanks for joining us.
Oh, it's great. It's been amazing. Cool, stealing everything with my eyes. Use it.
6 minute oog. Peace out.
So, guys.
Skitterleven.